Here we are. Yay! Welcome. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham. So glad you're here today. We are delighted to be in service. And the gratitude I have today is for the amazing earth that we live on. I have had the opportunity to go traveling about camping, and at one point was at 9,000 feet in Utah, and got out in the middle of the night, and it felt like I could touch the Milky Way. And I just was in awe and reminded of what an incredible place we have here. So on that note, I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful band members to take us into song, and feel free to hum or sing along.
Perfect. All right, here we go. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind staying on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind staying on spirit. Oh yeah, walking and talking with my mind staying on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You can't blame your neighbor with your mind staying on spirit. You can't blame your neighbor with your mind staying on spirit. Oh no, you can't blame your neighbor with your mind staying on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. Oh yeah, I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. One more time, here we go. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. Wow, the joy. I could just feel it in this room. Thanks for being here. And hey, look at a neighbor and say, hey, I'm so glad you're here. If you're out there on the internet, put up your name. Let us know where you're from. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time.
Okay, good morning. Thank you. My name is Kit Zinn. I'm your practitioner this morning. So please join me in a welcoming moment of prayer. And if you haven't silenced cell phones, please do so. Knowing with me that there is only one, that one presence, that one life affirming energy that fills and overflows and moves in and through each and every one of us in every unfolding moment. Knowing that I am already have a foundation of that power, that grace, that ever-present and compassionate love allows me the freedom, and for each and every one of us, to release and let go of the things that no longer serve me, to bring to my gathering this morning an open heart and an open mind, to hear the inspiration of spirit. For as we understand more about being really real, we understand that we need not take on any new trappings, for we already are complete and whole within, and it allows us that freedom to nurture ourselves and to grow. I trust and know that this is so, and with a very grateful heart, release these words knowing they are so and done right here, right now, and so it is.
Let's move into some musical meditation together. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made. I am letting go, I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made. I am letting go, I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. One more time. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am healed, I am healed, I am made. I am healed, I am healed, I am made whole. is always at hand. Take comfort as I am. Take comfort. Take comfort as I am. Surrender all need for a plan. Divine presence is always at hand. Take comfort as I am. I know there's only one moving me to be untethered, undone. I accept this love healing, breathing me whole, and give thanks for it is done. Take comfort as I am. Surrender all need for a plan. Divine presence is always at hand. Take comfort as I am. I know there's just one. I know there's only one moving me to be untethered, undone. I accept this love healing, breathing me whole. I know there's only one moving me to be untethered, undone. I accept this love healing, breathing me whole, and give thanks for it is done. And give thanks for it is done.
It's still such a novelty to have them here. It's so good. And, you know, the songs and the prayer today really had to do with my topic, which is shape-shifting reality. And you probably know from your studies in middle school, probably way back then for some of us, that shape-shifting is actually kind of a universal myth. And that, you know, you look into all the old myths from the Greeks and the Romans and the Norse, you look into fairy tales, you look into children's literature, you look into cartoons, that from antiquity to now, there's this fascination with the ability of regular old folks like us to shapeshift into something, you know? And so think about it. What would you shapeshift into right now if you could? Would it be a wolf, or would it be an antelope, or would it be something, an element like the wind or a tornado? Or, you know, it's a fascination apparently that sacred humans have had forever. And I can understand that, because from our tradition, we understand that there is a part of reality that you and I participate in that is frequently forgotten, but is actually completely available all the time, that allows us to shapeshift how our life is. And that's one of the core teachings that we have here, is that there is this tremendous opportunity and power available to us that allows us to not be stuck in a life that we no longer enjoy. So why is that? Well, I was going to bring you, like charts or PowerPoints, but I decided I could probably just tell you, because most of you have in your mind an image of an iceberg. You know, a lot of us from the Titanic era are familiar that the iceberg is 1/3 above the water and 2/3 below it. And so I want you to get that image in your mind. And, you know, in that image, see that floating part that's above the waterline has been worn by the elements, by its journeys in the ocean. And then imagine that below the surface, there's this incredible crystalline ice structure that is glowing blue and purple and white and is illuminated by the ocean, and it's vast and it's incredibly beautiful. That image really could serve for you and for me as an image of how it is for us in our spiritual lives and in our mundane lives. The mundane life would be the part that's showing above the waterline. And it can be a little worn sometimes by the elements of our experience. It can begin to show some of the wear and tear of the daily mundane stuff that we go through, including the things we get really caught up in that are very difficult. Well, let's say a plague. I don't know, just thought I could use that analogy, you know. Not that it's relevant at all. So we have things like pandemics. We have also much more, in my view, sort of personal difficulties that can affect the shape of our outer mundane world. And a lot of times, because that's so compelling, we forget this other part. And that other part is where we are established in spirit, in the divine, in the water of incredible, vast quantum possibility, if you will. And it's not that we abandon our individuality below the waterline of our lives, but rather we participate in a different way, in a different function, in that place where we share the divine, the water of the quantum. And it's really my job, I feel, as a spiritual teacher, to remind myself and you that this is where the possibility lies. That this 2/3 of our life that is frequently forgotten is actually this incredible asset and this incredible opportunity that lies below and in us that lets us shapeshift when necessary. So I was thinking a lot about that, and I was thinking, I had a teacher for a while, maybe you've heard of her, Jean Houston. When I was in my last pulpit, which was in Redding, California, Jean Houston lived in Ashland, which was a very short distance away, and she was conducting these mystery schools. And I was too terrified to go to a mystery school with Jean Houston. If you know anything about her, I was afraid of what would happen, that, you know, the below the line thing could have exploded all over me. So, but what I did do is I would like dip my toe in the water of Jean's life. And I can remember her saying, you know, she has an incredibly big vocabulary. So I'm going to translate for you because I'm like, well, this is what she actually said. She said, she regrets and is sorrowful about the mediocrity of having a diffident relationship to the genius of inner space. This is Jean all over. Let me say it again because you have to take it in. She says, I regret that so many people participate in the mediocrity of having a diffident relationship to the genius of inner space. So diffident is an old word, and it means hesitant. So what she's saying here is that she, in her mystery schools and in her life as a mythologist and a teacher, she would so often encounter people who were terrified and hesitant about actually having a relationship, we would say it this way, with spirit, with the genius of inner space. And I don't know if you feel that way, but I certainly relate to what she's saying, because just like going to her mystery school was a little too terrifying for me, understanding what we have here, folks, is really awe-inspiring and also can be a little bit awful in the other way, because we have the ability to change like that. I can't snap very well. Like that. How do we do that is the question. How do we do that? And that's part of the mystery. First of all, I agree with Jean that one of the ways that we can begin to invoke the power of our ability to change is we can stop being mediocre about our relationship to spirit. We can actually wholeheartedly and fully develop that relationship to the genius of inner space. How do we do that? There are so many ways to do that. And you've heard me say spiritual practices of all sorts, so I'm not going to say that today, although there I did. But I wanted to talk about one that has been delightful for me to read about and hear about through all these years on the spiritual path, and that is the accidental way. I just love the accidental way of accessing insight. And how does that look? Well, one of the earliest stories, maybe some of you who were science-oriented may remember the Archimedes principle. Do you remember that? Archimedes was given a riddle, a puzzle to solve by the king, who had given a bar of solid gold to a goldsmith to create a solid gold crown for himself. And when he got the crown back, it was beautiful, but it didn't feel like it had the same weight. And so the king was suspicious of the goldsmith, thinking that maybe he kept some of that gold for himself and substituted silver. But he had no way of proving it. So he gave Archimedes this task of trying to figure out if the crown was all gold or not. And at that point in our learning, nobody had figured out how to do that. So the accidental way that Archimedes discovered this was he was getting into a bath. I just love these kind of stories. So he's getting into a bath, like you and I do sometimes, right? He's getting into a bath, he's thinking about the crown, and all of a sudden, he notices displacement, right? So he gets in the bath, the water splashes out. We don't know how big Archimedes was, but I imagine he's fairly a large person to see that. So the water splashes out and he goes, Eureka! And he realizes that, we could put the gold bar in water and see how much water is displaced. We could put a silver bar in water and see how much water is displaced. And then we could put the crown in and determine if it was the same weight as the gold bar and displace the same. Anyway, it goes on and on. That's how science is. My point is that often our insights into the deeper inner space that's available to us that would allow us to shape-shift our life comes in these accidental insights that we have, just rolling along in our life, but with this challenge in the back of our mind, this puzzle, this dilemma. I'm sure you've never had one of those, but just in case this happens to you, maybe you're in a relationship and the dilemma is you don't really like being in that relationship anymore, but you're a loyal person and so you're kind of stuck, but you're not really because of the inner space genius thing. So, but you're puzzling, what do I do? How do I live my values, but also how do I be happy? Anybody? And so you'll have an Archimedes eureka moment sometimes where all of a sudden you see the way clearly and it wasn't clear before, and it just is almost like it's laid out in front of you. Or you have an insight that makes you think of something else and then all of a sudden, and I cannot tell you how many examples in science alone of moments where scientists have been puzzling about different things and they have a dream or they get drunk or they get into a bath or they do something that is not related at all, and all of a sudden something arises. Well, in our tradition, it's really not all of a sudden. It just feels that way because we're accessing something that holds all the knowledge, all the possible realities, all that could possibly be invented is connected to us in the quantum sea. And so all we're doing in those moments is letting go of trying to control enough to just sort of open, and there it is, one of the many possible outcomes and ideas. Why is this important to you? Why is this relevant to you and to me? Well, for me, it doesn't really matter what age you are. There's an opportunity always at hand to open to a larger idea of who we are and what's possible for us. And this is in every realm, not just the spiritual realm, but in every way. When we begin to tap in to that quantum sea, that 2/3 below the surface part of our nature, ideas, inspiration, insight, solutions start to arise. Songs start to arise in song makers. Poems start to arise in poets. Teaching ideas arise in teachers. It's amazing, really. And it's amazing because it's always been there. Always. So what stops us from doing that besides just forgetting? One of the things that stops us is we often, I'm not going to do a we here. I often forget the power of my thought in this analogy. I forget that where I place my attention, where I place my thinking, really determines what becomes accessible to me. And so I was reminded of Rumi's story about the cow. You remember that story? In case you haven't heard it, it's a great story. It's a hard story, but it's a great story about us. So there was this cow, a single cow living on this little bitty island. And this island, every morning, the cow would wake up and it would be full of the most lush, nutritious grass. And the cow would spend all day eating the grass on this island and getting fatter and fatter and feeling more and more healthy and wonderful. And at the end of the day, as the sun was setting, the cow would begin to worry that she had eaten all the grass and that it would never come back. And so all night long, the cow worried and worried and worried, didn't sleep a wink. And as the night went on, became thinner and thinner and began to look more and more sick and unhealthy. And then in the morning, when the sun rose, the island had grown this rich, lush grass again, and the cow all day would eat the grass and get fat and feel so healthy, and every night would worry that the next day would come and it wouldn't be there. Over and over and over. And so, unfortunately, I sometimes have cow thoughts. I want you to hold that concept. Cow thoughts, where everything is going just fine. Everything is more than fine. I'm drawing up inspiration and ideas and creativity, and a cow thought will come in. And the cow thought will say, but what if you don't have any more inspiration? What if there is no way out of this situation? Or what if? And I can make myself sick just by having cow thoughts. Nothing against cows. So that's one of the things that gets in our way is we use the power of our thought negatively. We begin to worry or perseverate is my favorite word. Perseveration means you just allow your mind to spin on a particular negative idea over and over and over, or a worry, or a futuring. Anybody do that? I do that sometimes where I look ahead and I go, uh-oh. Not that there is any uh-oh right at the moment, but my mind has a million ways to Armageddon or the Rocky Horror Picture Show or some variation on that theme. It just seems to want to go there sometimes. It's very, it has a dark edge. And if I allow myself to keep doing that, what begins to happen is I become immobilized and the access to the quantum sea seems to be cut off. It's not. But because of where I'm directing my thought, I stop even remembering that there is a different way that's possible. And why this is important to me after 36 years on the spiritual path is because I see that globally we are having an awful lot of cow thoughts, so many, and that they seem to be so abundant that it would be very, very, very easy to just sort of go with that and think that all hope is lost. There's no possible solution to any of the world troubles that we have. There's no solution to the local troubles that we have. There's no solution to the trouble in my family. There's no solution to me, and it would go on a scale, right? Cow thoughts are really prevalent in society. The worry, doubt, fear, anxiety. And it's not to say that there aren't challenges. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm addressing is this sort of belief that there's no answer, that we're stuck, that we've blown it thoroughly and completely and there's no way out. And for me, that's not helpful. I'm reading a book about that from an environmental scientist who is talking about how when she doesn't call them cow thoughts, but go with me here, when we embrace the cow thoughts of society about, for example, climate change, often what begins to happen is we become so despairing and so fraught with anxiety about what will occur, we actually come to a full stop in any sort of engagement with how that could change, how we could affect positive change. And so her book, the title of the book is called Hope, because her understanding as a scientist is when the people lose hope, we truly are stuck. So for me, in every area of life, I would prefer to access what's available all the time, not only for my own life, but now as an elder for the world. I think as elders, we have a particular responsibility to be the change we want to see, to actually embrace hope and speak to it and write about it on social media and be the place where there's a different idea being brought forward. This, in Jean Houston's world, is what the mystery schools were all about, was actually embracing as powerful individuals new ideas and inspirations, new solutions, and then moving forward, supporting all of those that are coming through humanity and other sources. In that way, we support the island of rich, lush grass instead of the worry thoughts, the cow thoughts that could so easily take us down a dark road. So that's my message for today, is I would invite you to really consider the incredible resource that is available to you, to me, to all of us, and to really take heart. And maybe the next time you get into a bath, invoke one of those eureka moments, really open to the possibilities that might be there. Maybe you're carrying the next solution to one of society's ills. Maybe you're the one that has the understanding for your family of how to move forward. Maybe you're the one. I think you might be. So let's do it. So I'll do a prayer for that. I'll start with this thought. In the infinite sea of quantum possibility that is the divine in action through every sacred human, for each one of us, right where we are, there is a profound intelligence at work that knows beyond our own knowing, but knows through us the solution to any situation. This profound indwelling intelligence, so vast, is ever and always offering what it is. And all I need do is turn to it, invoke it, accept it, step out of my own way, direct my thoughts into that rather than worry or fear, and allow it to show me. I know that for each of us listening to this prayer, that showing may be coming in different ways, through words or ideas or images, through what we're doing in our world. Inspiration comes in so many forms. And I accept for you, as I know for myself, that that is what is now occurring. Inspired, creative thought manifesting through all of us, creating positive, powerful changes in our personal life, in the lives of our families and friends, and in the life of the global community that we share. Since I know that this is true, I can say with tremendous gratitude, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to invite the ushers to come forward. I know many of you are already very regular givers through our online and other options, but if you would like to make a donation today, here these wonderful ushers are, and they're going to pass these baskets while we have some great music.
Everything in this world goes around, flowing with abundance, it knows no bounds. Giving and receiving, we circulate the love, with gratitude and knowing there's always enough. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything. Everything in this world goes around, flowing with abundance, it knows no bounds. Giving and receiving, we circulate the love, with gratitude and knowing there's always enough. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything, for everything. We give thanks for everything. We give thanks for everything.
They make it look so easy, don't they? Great. All right, well, let me give you a few announcements. We have a used book and art sale that's starting today. Is that right, Clara? 'Cause I've been gone camping, and it's in our classroom, and we'd love you to go and check out the wonderful books and art that's in there. It's all been donated by people during COVID, and so it's take what you'd like, give what you'd like kind of a situation, so feel free. We'd love it all to go. Really, we would. So this sale is going to be going through August 8th. And thank you to those who are manning that sale and who set it up. I really appreciate it. I also want to make sure you know that next Sunday, our entire crew, everyone you see here and many you don't see, are taking a vacation. And so we will not have Sunday service next week. However, we'll be back on the 8th and in full gear again. Well, sort of. When COVID hit, people bought boats and they bought trailers and they want to go camping. I just don't understand it. And so this summer, our band is like different formations because they're all taking the 10 weeks of summer to go use their boat and their trailer, and I've been doing the same. So next week, no service. We have a book study that's coming up. It starts on August 3rd. It goes from 6 to 7:30. It is one of our last full-on Zoom studies, and it's going to be led by the practitioner Francine Kitchen right here. It's going to be a lovely book study on Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural. And this is truly a book about what I was talking about today. It's a book about practicing shape-shifting reality. So I invite you to be a part of it. It's totally free. You do need to register so that we can get you. Do they need to register? Yes, they need to register, and then we'll get you into the Zoom land. And books are available on Amazon, I believe. And then we also, of course, are still doing our morning prayers at 7 a.m. via Zoom. The practitioners are stalwart in getting up early and providing a prayer to start the day. They start at 7:01, so you need to be there before then because you won't be let in otherwise. And then the prayer is about 3 minutes, and then off you go into your world. The same is happening with our closing of the day with gratitudes at 8:45 in the evening. These are both offered Monday through Friday, and then they take the weekend off. So do feel free to be a part of that. Let's see, is there anything I'm forgetting? I hope not. Love to tell you more about my camping trip, but we need to get on with our day, don't we? So I'm going to invite these guys to take us out on another wonderful song. And thank you very much for being here. Thank you, sound team. Thank you, ushers.
Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time, 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 one step at a time. You all have a lovely week, and we'll see you again soon.